All right, goodbye, chapter 4. Engel had been seen. It had been energizing? Curious? They'd almost wanted to get behind the man's eyes and look out. What had he seen specifically? A young boy had once told Engel that they looked like the start of a hurricane. The boy wasn't able to explain more. Had the boy been projecting their own disordered energy onto Engel, or perhaps seeing their coiled potential? And now, for Oliver. They were being perceived in some way. At least he made up for the mystery by leaving no doubt about what he was thinking. He was screaming every word. His thoughts struck the room in hard, concentrated bursts. Breathe. Not real. Look away. Move. Each command he gave himself relentlessly hit the air, too bright at the edges, frozen in place by the sheer panic that had produced them. Was this how he always talked himself down, with a loudspeaker and a handful of lies? And what was he telling himself about his visitor? Not real? Engel scowled. They wondered, as the self-soothing tirade bounced around the walls of the room, how the young man could stand to think in such a tight cognitive hallway. An older part of their being, the part with teeth, perked up. They liked anything that trapped a mind into running back and forth until the walls wore thin. Not here. Not tonight. They stifled the impulse to stir things up in the man's mind. That would be unnecessary and cruel. Don't help a caterpillar out of its cocoon. They had learned that lesson the hard way. Not Real was a human cage with too many locked doors. To be called Not Real was to be untouchable, unnamed, and excused from consequence. Oliver used it as a charm against fear, but Engel felt bruised in a way that they could not comprehend. Engel laughed softly, mostly to keep the older part of them from listening too closely. There was nothing they could do to provoke or reassure the man. They had to let him provoke or reassure himself. They watched as he put on the TV and moved around the room. They listened as he talked on the phone with his friend and felt how the sound of the other man's voice relaxed him. This was interesting. The friend's voice entered the room through the little device, but it didn't flatten the way most voices did when carried by machines. Something old came with it. Something practiced and powerful. The voice did not reach for Oliver. It made space around him. Engel relaxed into the feeling, closing their eyes. A distant humming began, and Engel felt a second set of eyes gaze at them. The gaze was light and shifted away quickly, but not before something passed between them. It contained no words. It reached Engel as a string of silent concepts. Friendly greeting, sharp reminder, warning. This human man was under the care of the other one. Engel sent out their own greeting as the air filled with static, then shifted away.